In this video, I'm going to be testing the FG100 DDS function generator. In the past, these are known not to be very good, at least in some of the videos I've seen. But I figure I'll go and see if they actually improved on it over the years. I haven't done no modifications or anything to this. We're just going to test it the way it is. Now, one thing I did notice, if I go ahead and turn off this DC offset setting just by default setting, you can see there's a little bit of an offset there, but then thankfully it does got adjustment to adjust the DC offset, and it's fine now. So we're go ahead and test it at 10 hertz right now, so I'm just gonna hit the run, and you can see that's a very clean sine wave, and right now it's only 10 hertz, so there you go. So let's go ahead and, in order to set this, you can't set this on the fly. You actually have to hit the run stop, and then you see how the cursor lights up, and then you have to make your adjustment, and you can see there's no signal right now, and then you hit the run, and now you got your signal there, and you can see it's pretty clean at 20 hertz. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like on a square wave. So to do square wave, you hit stop, and then you select the mode, and then you hit run. And yeah, that's a very clean square wave, but of course it's only 20 hertz, so it's not really hard. So there you go. So let's go ahead and stop it. Let's go ahead and now set the cursor here. We're going to go 100 hertz. And we're not going to do 120 hertz. Alright, and then we'll hit, we'll go back to sine wave again. And those are some of the modes it has on there too. Alright, and then let's just go to a faster time base. And there you go. Very clean sine wave pretty much. Now we'll go ahead and hit one stop. And then we'll go ahead and hit the mode and see what a square wave looks like at 100 hertz now. And yeah, very clean, as to be expected. Now we'll go ahead and give it 1 kilohertz. So let's go ahead and set this right here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and do cursor right there. We'll set that back to 0. Cursor, and we're just going to do 1 kilohertz. So there you go. And then let's just see how square wave look mine as well. And yeah, I will say that's a very clean square wave, so no problem there. Let's go and do one stop. Let's just go ahead and see let's just go through all of them pretty much. Let's first go through sine wave. That's at 1 kilohertz, and you can see there, very clean. No, kind of weird stepping or anything like that, or noise. Very clean, usable sine wave, so that's very good. Alright, let's go to mode. Let's go, we already did square. We'll go and do triangle. There you go, no harmonics lost or anything like that, so that's good. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and go to sawtooth. Yep, and there's your sawtooth, and then we'll go to the next one. We'll go reverse sawtooth or whatever they call that. Oh, my fault, I hit that by mistake. There you go. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and go ECG. Yeah, looks good actually. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and go to noise. And there you go, you got a bunch of random noise. Alright, we'll go ahead and now do sine wave again. And this time we're going to go 10 kilohertz. So I'm going to go ahead and set this to 10 kilohertz. Alright, gotta put the cursor right there. And this is where normally I've seen these fall apart at. So be interesting to see right there. Huh, it's kind of stuck in now DC offset. I wonder if that's because, let's just see. Okay, so I see, because it was the mode I was in. That's one thing I did notice, a quirk about this unit. And yep, very clean sine wave. I don't notice any weird stepping or anything out of the normal. But let's go ahead and do square wave. So we're going to go ahead and do square wave. And yeah, I would say it's a very clean square wave at 10 kilohertz. This unit's actually better than what I've seen on videos, so they must have made some improvements, but we'll go higher up and of course see how well it does. Let's go ahead and stop it. Okay, let's go back to the mode. And that's one thing I don't like. You gotta go through all the modes to get back in there, and we're going to set that back to 0. And this time around, we're going to go 100 kilohertz. Why not? Actually, you know something? Let's just do 50 for now and just see how well it does 50, because it might fall apart at that. Okay, so we're at 50 kilohertz. And you can see right there the scope's reading 50 kilohertz. Alright. And very, very clean sine wave. So, pretty good actually. And of course you could set your amplitude with this knob adjustment right here. So, you know something, let me go ahead and set it until, you know, shows distortion. Yeah, there you go, you got nasty distortion right there. Well, yeah, it's good about 20 volts peak to peak, so let me see. Yeah, right when it starts 20, you can see right there. So there you go, THD goes up quite a bit, so it's about 20 you know, volts it can do up to, so that's actually pretty good. So let's just go back down again. Let's adjust the sensitivity. Alright, and then we'll go back to 4 volts. Alright. We'll go back to around, there you go, that's good enough. Alright. And yeah, you adjust it with this knob right here. Let's just get it right there. Alright. So we'll go ahead now and do square wave and see how square wave does. So let's see how square wave looks at this. Yeah, starting to fall apart there, but still looks sort of like a square wave. Not as bad as some of the ones I've seen. This is at 50 kilohertz, so it's not too bad, but you can see right there. Okay, so let's turn this off. And now we're just going to go ahead and do, we'll turn it off again. Now we're going to go ahead and do back to sine wave. So let's just go, actually, you know something, let's just see what a triangle looks like at 50 kilohertz real quick. And yeah, pretty clean triangle wave. Alright, let's go to sawtooth. And yeah, it's a little bit, you know, but it still looks like a sawtooth, so it's passable. Alright, now let's go to sine wave again. Alright. And then we'll go ahead and actually go to 100 kilohertz. And this unit's supposed to be good up to 500 kilohertz, but I wouldn't expect the square wave to be good as that, because usually you need 10 times not to lose the harmonics and so forth. So this bandwidth is only 500 kilohertz, so probably as far as it's gonna go pretty much. But let's go ahead and try it anyway. So we're gonna go to 100 kilohertz. Alright, let's see what a sine wave looks like there. You can see there, still staying at the same voltage I set it at, so that's good. There's no roll off yet. And you can see right there, very clean sine wave. So yeah, this unit's doing much better than the ones I've seen people do videos on, the earlier versions of this. Let's do square wave. And yeah, but it's kind of what I would expect. You start losing harmonics pretty much at this point, but still looks like a square wave. It's not looking like a sine wave yet or a triangle wave, so that's good. Alright, so let's go ahead and do triangle wave. Why not? Alright. And yeah, very reasonable. I will say it's doing pretty good actually. Better than I expected. Sawtooth. A little bit jitter there, but yeah, it's there. So there you go. Okay, let's go back to sine wave again. And this time we're going to bump it up to 200 kilohertz. So we're going to go 200 kilohertz. Let's see what it looks like at 200 kilohertz. And yeah, now we're getting some roll off. So there you go. And yep, still looks pretty good. Okay, now let's just go ahead and see what a square wave looks like at that. Why not? And this is at 200 kilohertz. Okay. And yeah, sort of resembles a square wave, but starting to look like a sine wave. But yeah, it's kind of what you would expect pretty much. But at least it did fairly well on the lower frequencies that most people would use this for, so can't complain actually. Like I said, they only rated this thing up to 500 kilohertz, so it's kind of what you would expect actually. Let's go ahead and go back to sine wave again. Let's just see what a triangle wave while we're at it. Yeah, sort of looks like a triangle wave. Alright, now let's go back to sine. Alright, and then let's just go up to 300 kilohertz. Why not? Let's see what a sine wave looks at 300 kilohertz, alright? And you can see there, we're dropping some voltage, but that sine wave looks fairly clean, so. Yep, still looks like a sine wave, okay? And just for the hell of it, let's just do a square wave. Alright. No. Okay, so yeah, it's not usable at that high frequency as far as square wave and probably triangle wave and all of them. So you're gonna be doing sine wave on that, and you can see the triangle waves even starting to look like a sine wave. So there you go. Alright, let's go ahead and just go back to sine wave to see what this is good up to pretty much. So we'll go 400 kilohertz, alright, and then we'll just run it and see if it's usable. And yeah, it dropped off a fair bit, so there you go. But it does still look like a sine wave, so let's do 500 kilohertz. Alright, and yep, still looks like a sine wave, alright. Let's see if this thing goes higher. Nope. So that's the highest you can go anyway. So 500 kilohertz is the max. Alright, but I expect most people are probably going to be using this in the lower frequencies anyway. And as far as I'm concerned, it's much, much, much better than the original version of this thing. Because the original version, when you try to do sine wave, square wave, or anything, even a sine wave, it pretty much had, you know, weird stepping and stuff in it. And then square wave, it was completely unusable. In this case here, square wave, and we'll go back to square wave real quick. Okay, we'll go back down. We'll go back down to 100 kilohertz. Alright. You can see, still resembles a square wave. You know what I mean? It's not too bad. This is at 100 kilohertz. If we go down even further. Alright. So let's just go down here, and I gotta set the cursor to at 50, so we'll go ahead and set it to 50 kilohertz. Alright, you can see there, it's really not that bad actually. So yeah, there you go. So it's not a bad little portable signal generator. Now they improved on it, and I give them that. So for 20 bucks to have a portable signal generator, especially if you're using it for audio frequencies and so forth, it's perfectly usable actually. So I would say it's pretty good. How well hold up and stuff, I don't know, because I haven't had it long enough. Only time will tell. But it's easy to use. You do your amplitude setting right there. You go ahead and set your frequency, put it on there, and it looks very well. So much better than the older versions. So yeah, I do give this, you know, a pass pretty much. So for the second part, I went ahead and actually terminated it this time to 50 ohms, and we're going to go ahead and do 50 kilohertz. So let's see what it looks like now. And yep, there's a sine wave there, and of course the voltage got half because I did terminate it. But it's reading 2 volts peak to peak, which is what I would expect. Alright, let's go square wave. And yep, there's a square wave at 50 kilohertz. So now we're going to go ahead and go up to 100 kilohertz. So let's go ahead and go up to 100 kilohertz and just see how that does. If it does any better or not. We're keep it at square wave. And yeah, it's still falling apart. So there you go, but that made no difference pretty much. Let's just go ahead and see what a triangle wave looks like. There you go. Now we'll go ahead and go here, and we'll go ahead and go 150 kilohertz. Alright. And we'll go triangle wave first since that's what we're on. Alright, and then we'll go ahead and go sine wave. And yep, did roll off a little bit, but you can see the sine wave's still clean. Let's go square wave, see what it does, and yeah, not good, but that's how it was, you know, unterminated, so there you go. But I mean, being the fact it's a 500 kilohertz signal generator, that's kind of what you would expect anyway, so it's about, I mean, right for what the bandwidth is on this thing. So let's go ahead and, you know, we'll just go ahead and set this to 300 kilohertz. Alright, then we'll go cursor here, and we'll set it at 300 kilohertz. We'll see what a square wave looks like there, and yeah, the square wave's looking more like a between a sine wave and a triangle wave, but that's what you would expect. Okay, let's go ahead and go to sine wave. And there you go. Alright, and yeah, we do got roll off right there, so that's pretty much about the maximum bandwidth. Alright, we'll go ahead and go to 500 kilohertz and see what a sine wave looks like on there. And you see the signal, but it's already dropped by a little over half, so you know, the bandwidth probably on this thing's probably like about 200-300 kilohertz max, you know, as far as the 3 dB goes, but it does, you know, it is what it is pretty much. It's a small little function generating for lower frequency, like audio work and stuff. It actually be quite usable. It's fine, you know what I mean? It's much, much better than the original version, so as I stated in the first part, I do give this thing a pass. And as far as power goes, I'm just using my power bank, and I expect most people that are probably buying this, that's probably how they're going to use it. They're going to use it for portable use, where they need a portable signal generator, or function generator, I should say. It's not a signal generator. So, yep, there you go. So I went ahead and removed the 50 ohm resistor load pretty much, and I'm using the scope's internal 50 ohm resistor in there, and we're going to see if that makes a difference. So let's go ahead and do 100 kilohertz, and I expect it's not going to make no difference at all. And yep, still reading about the same. So let's go ahead and do square wave, and yeah, it's performing pretty much the same as I would expect. Let's go ahead and go 500 kilohertz and see how a sine wave looks like pretty much. I expect it's going to be the same. It's going to have the same amount, and yeah, exactly as I expected. It's dropping off, you know, pretty bad. Pretty much it dropped off a little over half, but at least the sine wave looks like a sine wave, and I don't notice any jitter or anything like that that's noticeable. So there you go, pretty much. So I went ahead in this part and removed the power from the power bank, and I'm powering off the USB port on the surge protector right up there, just because I want to see how well it performs when it's powered off, you know, an AC adapter or surge protector or whatever you have that you're going to power it off of. So let's go ahead and do 10 kilohertz right now, and you can see there, looking very clean. Alright, let's go ahead and do square wave. Yep, looking very clean. Alright, and then let's just bump it up to now 100 kilohertz. So we'll subtract that. We'll go ahead, go here, we'll go 100 kilohertz, and let's just go back to sine wave real quick just to see if I knows anything weird going on. Alright, Let's go ahead and go to faster time base. And yep, looking like a perfect sine wave, so that's good. And holding voltage the same, so there you go. Right now I got it unterminated, so now it's ringing 4 volt peak to peak pretty much around. Let's just go ahead and go square wave. And yeah, it's performing just about the same pretty much. Okay, let's go back to sine wave again. Alright, and then we'll go 300 kilohertz and let's just see how it looks there. Alright. Yep, very clean, no weird stepping, and you know, even though it's roll off, which is what it was even on the battery power bank, it's doing very well actually. I don't know if there's any weird stepping or any other weird issues and stuff like that. So yeah, you can power it off a mains adapter, you know, USB adapter of course, or you can power it off your power bank and it performs about the same pretty much.